In this video, I go over the Bong to Tan Sao shape applied against chain punches. So how it works in its shape, how it redirects forces, and how you should be applying it from an internal perspective so you can maximize its efficiency for both striking and offensive power. Not only that, but also its ability to roll away and use it for defensive purposes as well. Hope you enjoy.
So, borrow your sterno. All right, we'll just start off simple. Okay, maybe not so simple. So from stance, we're going to go into our cross punching, but I want you guys to work on the Bong to Tan Sao in cross punching, and we're going to build up from this sequence. The Bong to Tan Sao is, and the Tan to Bong Sao is this part of the form, yeah? So it's this movement. It's one of the most important movements because it's the defensive movement for external attacks. So any attack coming from the outside will be defended, generally speaking, with the Bong Sao movement. So you're going to start off with your partner doing cross punching, so fists, doing their cross punches, and you're just going to start off slowly. As their punch comes from the cross arm, you're going to redirect with the Bong Sao to bring your Tan Sao palm up. Then you're going to slowly come forward as they come forward, meet with the fingers / hand, and roll the Bong Sao to the other side. So you're just going to start, then he punches again. I meet with the Bong Sao, the circle. Now it's not going to be perfect like in the form because you're now doing it with a person, so it will point off to the side, but it will maintain a spherical defensive shape in front of you, just like this. So as sterno punches, I'm going to roll it to face palm up. As the same side punches, it rolls the other direction to bring my elbow up towards him, and then as he punches again, make contact at the wrist, roll it down. Now, once again, like this is a training tool. This is not how you're going to have a fight, right? You know, you're not gonna, they're not gonna come at you punching with chain punches and you're gonna just, okay, let's go, bro. Come on, you wanna fight me? This is not how it works, obviously. This is a training tool to train your structural shapes to be able to redirect forces, right? To be able to redirect forces. But then as this structure gets stronger, more mobile, more fluid, you'll be able to then use it. The whole idea with combat is that you'll be able to roll a minuscule amount off. So I redirected that force now. So if a punch is coming through, I roll and redirect that force. Now it can't hit me, but that allows me to hit through. So the actual application looks more like this. Sorry. That's it. So you're blocking and striking simultaneously. Or if he's throwing a strike to me, it might look like this, yeah? So that's the actual application. So that you're training a circular shape that can redirect incoming pressures quite easily, yeah? And then in combat, it's used for a split second of contact. Yeah, so this is a training tool to develop that skill. So once again, as the punch comes from the opposite arm, so his right arm, my right arm, I'm turning from Bong to Tan. Bong to Tan. Rolling from palm facing to the right to palm facing upward. Then from here, I reach forward to meet the outside of his next punch, rolling from palm facing to the side, to the left, to palm facing to the right, yeah, to Bong Sao. And he punches again. And essentially all you're really thinking is, okay, I want to reach to the center and then roll it away. So at first, you're kind of consciously redirecting and rolling it. But eventually, you present the shape and they'll roll it for you. So first, I want you to just get used to the shapes. Get used to the shapes. Opposite side arm, spins the palm up.
Oh, you son
Same
of a
side arm,
bitch.
spins the palm to have the bar on the top Bong Sao.
Kung Fu is more important than your children.
Opposite.
I'm kidding.
Same side.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. Get used to the shapes, how they work with the partner, and then we'll flow into a bit more
Kung Fu more important than your children.
Any questions? Sorry. 1, 2. Good. Let's go. Alrighty. So the first part was just making sure your shapes and your sequence was working well, right? So you were kind of consciously controlling the direction it went. But now I want to take it to the next level. So the first level is, okay, Long wants to be sure that, okay, when the punch comes from the opposite side arm, he's now Bong to Tan, he's rolling this force down to Tan Sao. Then when I punch from the same side arm, he's rolling up to Bong Sao. So that's like you as the person practicing the Bong and Tan, you're consciously making it kind of roll there, right? Now we want to get you into more of a kind of flowing condition. And the way to do that is you have the intention of Bong Sao and the intention to just reach forward. So the whole time, Long just really wants to just go forward to me. But because he's meeting force, it's spinning. So the difference now will be that Long will only move if I move him. So Long's not going to start rolling, so start rolling to Tan Sao now because I'm not rolling him now. So that would create an opening for me. What he's doing now is he's expanding his arm forward like he wants to punch me in the face, but with the Bong Sao concept in mind. Bong Sao circle, Bong Sao circle. And the shape is going to roll because of me. So as the training partner, you're the one kind of spinning it for them. So do hit through the arm just because this is an exercise for practice, right? And then, so if I start to go really slow, you'll see Long's bong goes really slow, right? You smoke bongs?
None no more.
None anymore. None anymore. Unfortunately. All right, so, and see how now it goes slowly because I'm punching slowly. But that also means if I go fast, it should go fast as well. So the Bong Sao moves according to your opponent. Now, what's the value in that? In a self-defense situation, if I'm faster and more athletic than Long, right, and I'm throwing a really fast punch straight down here, all Long has to do is make contact with it. And then my speed will be utilized by his structure and intention to further spin the force away from him, rather than him having to be fast and athletic. He just needs to be focused at me and reaching towards me. The ability to catch their limbs as they approach you will come from your sticking hands, from Chi Sao. That's called the chasing in the shadow and the facing the shadow reflex, meaning as a punch comes, Long will naturally mirror or shadow me, if that makes sense. So the next stage to this exercise is that the person practicing the Bong Tan is going to go with the pace of the partner. We're not just practicing good shape and good position now. You're just practicing keeping the focus forward and letting the shape spin according to the speed of the person who's punching. Person punching, as a good training partner, will be punching through the arm though, just to give it an easier experience for it. Does that make sense? So you can go from slow punches, and you'll see how Long stops when I stop. I'm the engine of this movement right now. He needs me to move. And if I go faster, Long goes faster. Get the idea? Alrighty. Any questions? So this is an expression of the state. You're centered, you're sensing, you're syncing, you're targeting, you're always flowing towards them, and the shapes will spin according to the environment. Remember the analogy of the ball rolling down the hill. The ball rolls down the hill, right? Long's focus is always forward. And when it meets something in the environment, it spins accordingly. Make sense? 1, 2. Let's go. 2, 4, 6. Alrighty. Bring it in, guys. So, we'll keep going with this. I'll borrow you, Long. Because you're coming up against different types of forces, it's not always going to be exactly precise. So if I borrow you, Long, if I'm giving him a really good, easy force, then yes, it might spin nicely into a beautiful circular Tan Sao, and same on the right side, right? But sometimes the force, look, you still want to be punching, like I mentioned, you want to be punching through the outside of the arm over the top of each other. If I'm coming from different angles, of course it's not going to work, right? So what we want to do now is I want you guys to actually on purpose give each other, still coming through the outside of the forearm, but on purpose give each other more awkward forces. Like don't necessarily go give them okay, I'm guiding your shape. We start off making sure our shapes are correct. Yeah? So we make sure, okay, I'm doing a correct bong and a correct tan, so my shapes are correct. Then you start rolling and flowing with the incoming force. So it's more, okay, I just have the intention to go forward, and it's their force that spins me now. If they go faster, it goes faster. If they go slower, it goes slower. Yeah? Now, the forces aren't going to be necessarily precise to your center, or even a bit more awkward at times. So I might go this way, I might go higher, might come lower, but Long still wants to maintain the same condition so that he can rest in the state and just have that condition allow the arm to reach forward as opposed to him trying to force movements. Now the things that we're looking for here, do not collapse this. That's one thing. Do not collapse this angle to here. Keep that distance. Right. If this collapses, that means you're hit. Yeah? So that means, okay, you could be dead, right? So don't die. Yeah? Keep space. Keep the space. How do you do that? Center and sense and target forward. So you have that targeting from the wrist and the spine towards the center. The other thing that you want to keep in mind is that if the space opens, your hand should come forward. Yeah? So that's another thing we're looking for. The first one is don't let it collapse. The second one is if this opens, the hand comes forward, meaning you always have the intention to strike. So even if I come up here and take my hand away, you'll see how Long's hand comes forward. His intention to strike is on. Yeah? So now you're going to still come from the outside, but I want you to play around with coming. See, I'm going this way, I'm going over this shoulder, but see how Long's still keeping a connection. I'm going across here and spinning, but I can even move around. Long has to even follow me. Just so he gets used to the Bong Sao shape rolling according to the person's forces. If my hand comes away, he hits. So all he's really doing is keeping his focus forward. And then my force, which is where Long has an advantage, because he tries to relax so much that he can't be bothered doing a movement, which is why he rolls with things quite well, right? Because you're relaxing so much that, see how he's very good at just rolling with it, right? Yeah, because he can't be fucked doing anything. So it's an advantage. Yeah, he can't be bothered, bro, exactly. So rolling with things is actually a good talent of Long's. Alrighty, so I want you to work on that. So the person who's attacking is still coming through the, watch out now so they can all see. It's still coming through the outside gate of the forearm, but you're mixing up the angles that you come through. You may not hit straight to the center, you may hit over the head, you may come across the center, but Long still just focusing to me, letting it roll, and if the hand comes away, so he's ready to death choke me or whatever. Just hand comes forward. Does that make sense? But this time what we're going to do is we're going to switch around with different partners so you get different types of force. And what we're looking for, don't let it collapse, let it roll and flow so you're feeling a sense of flow with the incoming force, and also striking forward when there's nothing there. There's a saying in Cantonese which translates to hands free, fists fly. Meaning, whenever your hands are free, they should be flying at the attacker, at the opponent, sorry. So if I'm in contact and there's no sense of freedom with my limbs, they won't be able to. But as soon as something opens up, or it doesn't because he keeps the attack on me, as soon as something opens up, the hands free, fists fly. Make sense? That means you're always focused forward. So once again, things to look for. Number one, don't collapse these because then you're being hit. Number two, if the hands come away, the fists fly at the target. Number three, a sense of flowing with the force. He's flowing with, he's not fighting against. He has a forward intention so he can spring forward, but he's not fighting against it. Does that make sense, team? 1, 2, let's go.